Hey, what's happening, guys? I hear back in Club. We in here, about to wrap some stuff up. I'm gonna play a clip from VeganGains live stream yesterday. By the way, VeganGains looking pretty good. Building some good mass. I'm really liking the training, how it's so basic, simplistic, but like focusing on progressing. It's kind of I don't know if I want to say old school, but it's very reminiscent of where back in the day where most of us started, with just barbells, dumbbells for the most part, doing the dips and all that, and just really getting good at those basic movements. And y'all can see he's blowing up. I think he's been training pretty much like that for a while though, and honestly, I mean it's working for him. He don't really need to add too much extra to what he's doing. It's not like he's trying to jump on a bodybuilding stage or anything like that. And most people seeing him walking around, I guarantee you, they're not going to think he's not doing anything right. So that's what's up. So I'm gonna play this clip. Then I'm gonna respond to it. I'm gonna play. Somebody asked him a question about what he thought about Nicki Minaj being a Christian and supporting Donald Trump, which is a question that I see getting tossed around. So I'm gonna play the clip. Then I'm gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get it on.
Yeah, I saw Nicki Minaj as a Trump supporting Christian. She's kind of fucking stupid. Like, especially considering, like, everybody in the rap and hip hop community is black, smokes weed, do party drugs. A lot of them are involved in like criminal shit. And Trump and his administration are like crazy fucking wacko racists with really fucking regressive policies. Like Trump said, he thinks drug dealers should get the death penalty and shit. He took out a 3-page ad in a fucking newspaper saying that a group of black men that were wrongfully accused of rape should all be locked up or killed. Like, why the fuck are there like black people in the rap and hip hop community like supporting the guy? They're just so stupid. But yeah, this is why democracy doesn't work. There's just too many fucking idiots. If everybody doesn't even know what the fuck they're voting for, what's the point?
Yo, Richard, Richard, VeganGains, bro. You said that it's dumb for black rappers to support Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is the reason 50 Cent didn't go bankrupt. Street hop, my brother. Not gangster rap, that real grimy, gritty, like you listen to want to murk somebody. See, a lot of people listen in the club at 50 Cent, but they wasn't really listening to 50 Cent. They wasn't listening to the mixtapes. They wasn't listening. Like they really don't know. You lucky if they really listen to the whole Get Rich or Die Trying. They might listen to some little mama, show me how you move it, nah, push it back into it. That ain't the 50 I'm talking about. Damn, man. So anyway, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like 50 as we were introduced to him like back in 03, 02 beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Anyways, I'm talking about the 50 that got shot 9 times and you knew why. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, yo. Sorry about that. Hey, but guess what, though? He came back still talking that yak, too. That's crazy. Anyways, so I don't think it's dumb. Y'all know Nicki Minaj came here illegally. Why she didn't try to get a not a membership, but a citizenship? I don't know. Because she been on for a minute. But makes sense. If they kicking people out of the country, you might want to get closer to the guy that got the power to keep you here. I think it's a strategic move. Now, did she get saved after teaching everyone's nice, beautiful black and brown daughter debaucherous ways and how to facilitate a sinful lifestyle. And now she's trying to save these Nigerians to repent of her old ways. Probably. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, if I'm racist, I do want to be aligned with some of these rappers that you say are into drugs and crime. That does sound kind of racist. But we do know that that's what sells. So even if they're really not doing that, that's what they're talking about. So sounds deleterious to the black and brown community. If I'm racist, that's who I want on my side. But I'm also going to say that it would be good to support Donald Trump because there's different connections and stuff that you may not be aware of and that people don't see. Because Donald Trump's tapped in. He's tapped in. I ain't gotta say too much. Like, you look at the historical artifacts, you really see like Trump's everywhere, bro. Like, I don't know if he was at the Diddy party, but he was with Diddy at one point. Everybody wasn't at the Diddy party, but anyways. So, but I probably shouldn't have said that. Ain't gonna help the case with the Epstein stuff. We don't know what's going on with that. But what I will say is this: that's a good reason why you shouldn't trust none of these folks, because they're like, oh, Donald Trump's a PDF file. It's like, y'all worried about that? They're all in the document. That's why it's not coming out. This is why when you said that this is why democracy fails, because people are stupid. Yeah, everything is coming back to Trump. ICE, Donald Trump. But the last few administrations have bolstered ICE, built these detention camps to the point to where Donald Trump can have the framework to come in and then implement this the way he's implementing it. There were also demonstrations and protests throughout the Obama and the Biden administration that people just didn't pay attention to. And Obama had the record for deportations. People say he didn't deport any U.S. citizens. That's a lie, because there were several reports of family members talking about how their children, like by children I mean their young adults, were wrongfully deported and were U.S. citizens. But that didn't make the big popular media, right? So people go by what they're told. But the truth of the matter is, this has been a strategy the whole time. And I'm not going to get into the immigration thing, but I will say this, because you said that, I mean, you pretty much alluded to the fact that you think Donald Trump is racist. I think that's media perception, because Donald Trump, I hear a lot of stories, some from my own area, where Donald Trump has pardoned a lot of people, for one, and has helped a lot of people out, you know, and those people are black people. Now, it doesn't jive with the law and order thing when you pardon certain people, so he's not going to come out and say it. I think he's frauding, but I think he's really playing into that racist element, because even when he became president and he did some of the things he was talking about, when he won his second term, a lot of the white folks that were affected said, wait, we thought this was going to happen to other people, not us. And it's like, he said it was going to do it to you. He described your job, your demographic, what you were doing, the benefits you were on. He said these were the changes he was going to make. And you thought he meant black people or brown people, and you didn't realize that mostly white people benefit from those things. So when y'all all got affected, you were shocked. And the reason why they were shocked is because they view him as their God. So he plays that element enough to where they feel like he's going to show them extreme partiality. So when you say that you think he's racist, I don't blame you for that. I don't think he's racist, because the 50 Cent thing, people that I've been connected to at different times in my life, who shouldn't be home, making it home because of him. And different stories and different people I've heard about different things that he's done, different ways he's helped black families over the years. I'll leave that there. But he definitely plays to that racist element. Central Park 5, we got to talk about it. Him saying that the boys should be put to death. Crazy. Maybe there was racial bias in that, but if you heard about a woman getting raped in Central Park, or any park, by multiple people, you would have the same feeling. Now, the only thing with that is that it seemed like the public was pretty much 100% sure that they were being falsely accused. Well, not 100%. But by and large, yeah. And then it came out a few years ago, they were falsely accused. When you do that, yeah, when that happens and you're the president, you should come out and acknowledge that you were wrong, try to make amends, restitution. I think that that's proper given that position and the fact that you wanted these boys to die that were innocent. I think you're right in being angry about that. A lot of people are angry about that. I understand why you would feel that way, though, when that had happened. But the fact that they were innocent makes it... And you didn't come back and say, look, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said... And acknowledge it. Egregious. Okay? So I think I covered pretty much the main points. And the reason why I say it's stupid for anyone is... All right. Crime bill. Who was that? Democrats destroyed the black community. Basically, what's happening with ICE happened to the black community. Ronald Reagan put crack in the communities and then started Republicans. The war on drugs was turned into the war on us, and then that crime bill. But the genesis of that were these other policies that created the perfect storm to where then, okay, let's make the crime bill, which shut up incarcerations of young black men, took more black men out of the home. And we know that is the best way to create poverty and crime in a neighborhood, because poverty breeds crime. And when you remove the fathers from the household, look, we know the statistics. People like to say single parent households. It's single mother households. You're more likely to end up incarcerated. That's not a knock on single mothers, because it's not their job to do it. Really not their job to do it alone. But that's predatory when you found ways to remove the men out of the community. And don't forget, when we're talking about the war on drugs and the crack and stuff coming into the neighborhoods, let's not forget it was law enforcement, FBI, CIA, all these folks bringing the drugs in. We would grow up seeing the drugs being distributed, and then the same people distributing the drugs arresting people. I don't know what it was like in Canada, my brother, but yeah. So it's stupid for when we were like, this is not, people are like, this is not the America I know. That's the America that we know. That's why we're not tripping on it. Last point, media perception is definitely bad. People are stupid. They're not paying attention because the media is always focused on making this. Well, people hear border and all that stuff. They think, oh, Hispanics, Latinos. But we were listening to who they grabbing. Even Indians, Somalis, Germans. I heard about they was grabbing some Germans. They're after all illegal immigrants. And if you look too far, sometimes they grab you anyways, which is bad. Right? Racial profiling is bad, especially in a nation where everybody's like mixed up and people come and flow from different places. That's a recipe for disaster. They're grabbing Europeans. They're after Europeans. Europeans come here illegally too, but you don't hear that because they're white. We can't make that a racism story. And they're grabbing people from even, Haitians, Jamaicans, like I told you, Somalis, and all these different people. They can and some of these people are like legit, like they scamming and all that, but they don't tell you that when they tell you the story. But if they grab somebody, little Hector or something, then they blow that one up because they want. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. There's more going on to this because ICE has gotten a few boosts, and they weren't under Donald Trump. He's just exploiting it because it's there. Detention centers and camps built not by Donald Trump, prior administrations. This is a collective effort. I describe the United States government as a good cop, bad cop system, where somebody or group or administration or two will do something on the low to the public. They present a good face to get, like Barack Obama. He could do no wrong, but he was doing all kinds of wrong. But it was on the low. But he creates the infrastructure. Then the next person comes in and they drop the hammer it was always planned to drop, but they're the bad guy because they get the bad edit, so to speak, like a reality show. That's Donald Trump. He wants to. He loves being the bad guy because it looks cool. It looks strong. So he gets to drop the hammer, but they gave him the hammer to drop. That's why you see, when you see Donald Trump and Obama, you see them laughing, giggling, having a good time. It's all fugazi, man. It's all fugazi. And the public sees this and they still think that they still fall for it. I'm ranting at you now, but I'm just hitting you with some points. You could counter, you could respond, you could just tell me go F myself. Don't do it in a live though. Like do it in an actual video because I probably won't see the live. I just happened to catch the live because we got a crazy snowstorm and I was home because we were teaching from home and like I saw it pop up. And I don't watch all your content, but like I respect the hustle, I respect the grind. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this, but I do agree, public is stupid. They'd vote for anybody that anything, and that democracy is really just who you like the best. It's a popularity contest, basically. Who can make the most promises? If you're honest in an election, it's known. If you're 100% honest in an election, generally you're going to lose. People want to be lied to. Lie to me, basically. Don't help me. Lie to me, and I'll vote for you again. You can tell me the same promises you've been telling me the last 50 years. Come on. Black and brown communities mostly vote Democrat, still poor, getting poor. Poor white communities mostly vote Republican, still poor, getting poor. Everyone's getting poor. So obviously we're stupid because we keep voting the same. I agree. But as far as the black rappers supporting Donald Trump, financial incentive. Financial incentive. Especially because you got to remember, a lot of these people are probably in the same boat as Nicki Minaj. They look black, but like a lot of these people are actually from other countries, and they may not be legal, or they may have some folks that may ran into some trouble that they need to help out. So, and Donald Trump actually seems accessible with the pardons because he's been pardoning people. He just don't be saying it. So, I think you need to maybe do a little bit more homework. Well, you don't need to, man. You don't need to do no homework. Don't waste your life away doing that. We don't need to worry about this. We already talked enough about it. How you want to act?